How's it going? I'm Desmeric, and I hope you're having a great day today. Medallion Slate pushed out a devlog detailing some updates to Revenblade. I'll leave a link to it in the description. While this devlog informed us of a new skybox added to Royal Gardens, an image of Sakaro's final design, I cannot wait for this character, and images of another upcoming character known as Kraken, I wanted to make this video centering around one specific topic from the devlog: the addition of sprinting and dodging. Revenblade is already a fun game to play, but I won't lie and say the sprinting and dodging doesn't add more to the experience. Every character, except for Layla, has a sprint animation to signify their sprinting, other than the increased movement speed. This is a nice touch, as it gives the heroes more of an identity. It's possible that the heroes will receive dodge animations as well, but it's not certain as of right now. You'll get your day soon, girl. Hang in there. Not only does sprinting add a new mechanic to play around with, but it also gives less mobile characters better means of getting around the map besides just using your mobility skill to keep up with everyone else. The mechanic itself is pretty straightforward. As you run, holding down control will allow you to sprint. Do keep in mind that this movement isn't omnidirectional. You are only allowed to sprint forward. This system does use stamina, but so long as you're out of combat, you won't use any. With that said, you can enter a state of being in combat. If you are attacked or attacking, you will be considered to be in combat and thus begin to drain stamina as you sprint. Out of combat and stamina regeneration are on separate timers, so even while in combat, your stamina will still regenerate after some time. It should also be stated that currently, sprinting and dodging are mapped to the same button, but both can be rebound. Dodging is also a stamina-based mechanic. While holding a directional key and pressing the dodge button, you will sidestep in that direction, minus forward. There's about a half-second cooldown before you can dodge again, and can dodge multiple times before running out of stamina. Dodging can help you in the middle of a fight. For instance, you see a bulwark leaping at you from afar. You can still use your mobility skill to get out of the way, of course, but with dodging being a thing now, you have another way to avoid being stunned and being his comfy chair. Provided you're at full stamina, you can dodge 3 times before you run out. You can also dodge mid-air, and it's kind of wild. I don't know if it should be allowed, but it's there. With these additions, I found more enjoyment in playing Vivian. I have no idea why that is, but sprinting as her just feels good. Probably because I don't have to immediately use my mobility skill when I see a Kaizen or a Beckett coming at me. Provided I remember that it's in the game. That's more so true with dodging for me. I've acclimated to sprinting just fine, but for some reason, my brain cannot wrap around the idea of dodging. I guess I'm just so used to playing without the mechanic that my pleb brain can't comprehend dodging. I also wanted to shout out Kaizen real quick. This hero is a lot more fun to play around with than I originally thought, and the new mechanics definitely add to it. What a fun character. While this is a fun mechanic that Revenblade has, there are some concerns. I already mentioned air dodging, and while it could just be a minor issue in the grand scheme of things, I feel some characters can take advantage of air dodging in ways that weren't intended, if multiple air dodges was considered to begin with. Marcus is a good example for this. He has 3 charges for his mobility skill alongside stamina to use for dodging. Being able to air dodge keeps him airborne a bit longer, and melee fighters would have a difficult time fighting back. I'm not quite as skilled at Marcus compared to some other players, but I do think it could be an issue. This kind of leads into my next point. Highly mobile characters like Marcus or Ona have more ways of catching their prey or to escape. Layla, Kaya, and even Vivian were in need of some extra movement, but with this being a universal mechanic, it feels as if nothing changes in that regard. High mobile characters have more movement to their already prevalent mobility, and can feel as if Kaya could still easily be caught up to, even with her sprinting or dodging her way out of a fight. Even with those concerns, I don't want to take away from what these mechanics bring to the table. It definitely adds an extra layer of depth and skill expression that helps elevate Revenblade to a more interesting standard. We've had a couple playtests since the mechanic was added, and the gameplay is still just as solid and arguably just as refined. I want to thank you guys for checking out this video. I wanted to make a video sharing the sprinting and dodging, as I believe it's a great thing to have in this style of game. If you haven't already, you should check out the Revencast. It's a podcast that myself and a Panda Sniper started, where we discuss all things Revenblade. I appreciate your time. Hope to see you soon.